Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, Bitcoin is in a very interesting position because, as you guys know, Bitcoin has been in a major consolidation pattern with the level of resistance being a long-term downtrend that we have been under for the last 2.5 years. And overnight, instead of Bitcoin correcting down to our uptrending level of support, Bitcoin has actually rallied once again right up to that exact same level of resistance and looks like it might be about to break it today. Guys, Bitcoin is looking extremely bullish right now. We're about to see a golden cross on the daily chart, and we're about to see a bullish cross on the daily chart MACD. RSI is sitting in perfect territory, and Bitcoin has tested the exact same level of resistance 1, 2, 3 times. For those of you who are in CT2A, you will know that is a very important signal, one that we will be discussing here in today's video. If you guys do enjoy today's video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel when you do that, and I'd be very appreciative if you did. Before you walk away from this video, you're going to have a lot of context about where Bitcoin is and where Bitcoin is heading, so I do encourage you to watch until the end. Before we dive on into it, though, I do just want to give brief mention to the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. As you guys know, this is the academy that allows this channel to be possible, and that has taught over 1,500 students how to do technical analysis on the cryptocurrency markets. If you would like to start on your journey of being a profitable trader and investor, there's a great resource to do it, and it is CT2A. It is linked in the description down below, and with the May 2020 coupon code, you'll get $40 off at checkout. More information on that at the end of the video. But for now, though, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. You know, I remember when I started this channel, one of the biggest things that I was concerned about, I don't know why I thought it was so important, but one thing that I was really concerned about was different, like, structural aspects of the video, such as the outro, what I would say in the outro, what I would say in the intro, and now that we have this intro sequence that we do, how the let's dive right on into it. Those three different things, 1, 2, 3, those three things, I spent so much time thinking about the wording of every single one of them, and now it's completely ingrained into the channel that you guys know what me saying let's go ahead and dive right on into it means. But for a long time, that structure wasn't there. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, guys, let's jump onto the chart. Guys, the last 2 months on Bitcoin has been remarkably bullish, but you already knew that. What I'm more interested in talking about is down here on the hourly chart and the 3 tops that we've seen as of about 2 hours ago, because before that, there were only 2 of them. As you guys can see, we had our first top up here where Bitcoin traded around $10,000 for a couple of days and then had that correction that we talked about back then. Then Bitcoin very quickly rallied right back up there, breaking a lot of levels of resistance and returning back to $10,000 to show, yes, in fact, the bulls do still have strength. And then, of course, it had a little bit of a correction because we weren't quite ready to break through. But notice something. How far to the downside did Bitcoin go this time compared to this time? The first time Bitcoin tested 10K, we had to pull all the way back down to, at absolute low, $8,000, but this time, at absolute low, we pulled back to $9,100, meaning that Bitcoin, yes, rallied all the way back up to the same resistance, but did not need to go back to the same support. What does that indicate? It shows strength in the bulls. Furthermore, what's the rough distance between the middle of both of these tops? Around 6 days. Between both of these tops, where is it? Around 3 days. So we pulled back half as far, and we rallied back to the resistance twice as fast. That is a trend of exponential proportions, and it does indicate bullish strength growing rather than declining. It means that Bitcoin can test the same level of resistance while not having to pull back as far, meaning that the bears are being overshadowed, which means, of course, the bulls have to have some more power, because if the bears have 30% power, then by the rule of percentages, the bulls have to have 70% of it. As the bears are getting weaker, obviously the bulls have to fill that vacuum by getting stronger. If there's a third faction that I don't know about 3 years into this whole technical analysis thing, feel free to let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works anyway. For those of you guys in CT2A, you'll know about this video right over there. That video is called The Convergence of Support and Resistance. And in that video, we talk about levels of support and resistance. When a level of support or resistance is tested twice, it strengthens that level. When it's tested a third time, it strengthens it, but you start to ask yourself the question, why did we just test this 3 times? Are the bulls or the bears respectively strong enough to break it? And then the 4th time you test it, you start to think, okay, we're about to smash this level of resistance. Now, Bitcoin has only tested our downtrend 3 times, and it's only tested $10,000 3 times, but remember what I just said? What's the duration between these 2 tops right here, and how far did Bitcoin retrace both times? It's showing that the bullish strength is increasing while the level of resistance is staying the same, which means there is a differential in the bullish strength and the bearish resistance strength. I know I'm getting kind of technical in this video, but I want you guys to understand the nuance of technical analysis as well as just the exciting stuff, the fireworks and the flames and all of the really cool, awesome things that happen in cryptocurrency when we have a massive rally. That's all well and good, but if you can predict those those movements before they happen, then you have a possibility of profit, a possibility of profit. A possibility of profit. There you go. You have a possibility of profit. Yeah. But how does this play into the rest of the cryptocurrency market? How bullish really is Bitcoin, and how likely is it that we have a correction sometime soon? Well, let's go ahead and look at the daily chart, because looking at the hourly chart, Bitcoin looks relatively bullish. But if you only pay attention to the hourly chart, you will oftentimes be ignoring things that are happening on the longer term charts. And remember, another thing we teach in CT2A and here on the channel, longer term movements override shorter term movements. If something on the 4 hourly was telling you that you're supposed to break $6,000 back here in July of 2018, but the daily chart showed that $6,000 was a massive level of support, the daily chart's going to overrule the 4 hourly chart. The same thing is true here with the hourly chart and the daily chart. So is the daily chart really all that bullish? Yes, it is, in fact. As you guys can see, volume's been dropping off slightly over the last couple of weeks, but really, if you look at the longer term trend, it's been increasing in a major way. That indicates more volatility, more liquidity, more people moving into the space, and more exuberance in the market. Furthermore, we're looking at a golden cross coming in on Bitcoin in the next 3 days or so. We've been talking about how around the 18th to the 21st, there was going to be a golden cross. Boom, here it comes. And lastly, but most certainly not leastly, we're seeing a golden cross or a bullish cross on the daily chart MACD. So where does this all leave us? Well, it leaves us with a bullish short-term chart. It leaves us with a bullish longer-term chart. The fundamentals of Bitcoin, little bit up in the air. We've never been through a massive recession and pandemic like we're going through right now. We don't know exactly what that's going to do to Bitcoin, but from the 2 months of historical precedent that we do have, it seems to be an either neutral or buoyant bullish force for Bitcoin. So we can at least rule that out as being a massive driver of bearishness for now. So guys, with the technical analysis that I have done, I believe that we are about to have a break above $10,000. I would love to hear your opinions on that in the comments section down below, though. Is Bitcoin about to break $10,000, rally to 14K? Are we going to break $10,000, rally to 11, and then have a correction following that? I could see that happening, and we may make a video on that in the future. Or do you think Bitcoin's not going to break bullish at all because that long-term 2.5-year downtrend of resistance is just too strong? I want to hear your take on that. Because guys, remember what we said. All of the technicals right now, objectively, are pointing bullish for Bitcoin. This is something people don't understand on technical analysis. Sometimes you make a call on technical analysis, and your call was actually right. Bitcoin just ignored it. There's a difference between having an incorrect call and having a correct call that didn't come true. There is a nuance in there. The difference is this. An incorrect call is based on an invalid method of doing technical analysis or an incomplete method of doing technical analysis. Let's say you're doing technical analysis on 3 different technical indicators and you miss 7 technical indicators that are calling for the opposite. You made a biased call because you're only paying attention to 30% of the technical indicators that are important, so that was an incorrect call. It wasn't well formulated. A correct but wrong call is one that takes all of the technical indicators into consideration, all of the fundamentals into consideration, and the market just simply didn't do it. That does happen. And that's why the greatest technical analyst on the planet will be wrong sometimes, is because technical analysis does have its limitations and humans are not perfect. So guys, I believe my call of Bitcoin breaking to the upside here is a correct call, but whether or not it happens or not, we are going to find out. I think it's much more likely that Bitcoin breaks above $10,000 in the next week or so. And as I said, I would love to hear your take on that in the comment section down below. Tell me, did I miss anything? Maybe it's an incorrect call. Maybe I missed some things. I would love to hear about that down below. Anyway, guys, I know quarantine's been sucking the life out of some of us. I know it's been doing that to me. It didn't really bother me for the first couple of months, but now I'm really starting to realize a lot of the systems, a lot of the structures, a lot of the things that maintained my everyday life are starting to kind of break down. And that might be something that you can relate to. Not starting to. They have broken down. The systems and the structures that were in place before no longer are. And when that happens, and when you get in a funk or a rut or a groove or whatever you want to call it, it's very easy to slip out of your productivity. It's very easy to slip out of your fulfillment, your meaningness and your happiness. Meaningness is not a word, but your meaning and your happiness. And it's very easy to forget about what you're wanting to do in life. Tell me down below if this is something you can relate to, because it's something that I've been experiencing a lot lately, is forgetting why I got in the game in the first place. You see, it is Sunday. Today is the Lord's Day. Today is the day of rest. After I'm done recording this video, I'm going to go play some Bannerlord because I've been waiting 5 years for that game to come out. I mean, seriously, Tail Worlds, it was announced in 2012. But when Monday comes, ideally what you would want to be doing is to be very productive and to remember where you're going in life. But it's very easy to forget that during the quarantine when everything has kind of fallen apart. Even when quarantine isn't going on, even when the world is marching along at its normal pace, it's easy to forget why you're in the game. Because you see, Bannerlord, Terraria, Minecraft, League of Legends, Dota, all these games that no one plays Dota anymore. No one ever played Dota. All these games are not really productive. They're not going to change your life. They're not anything that you want to be spending your entire life doing. That being said, there is one game that you do want to play and that I enjoy playing. That is called the game of life. Not the board game, I mean real life. Because you see, I found that the game of life is the most rewarding, most enjoyable, most fun, least regrettable game that you will ever play in your entire life. But what game do you decide to play within the game of life? You can play the doctor game, you can play the entrepreneur game, you can play the sports star game, you can play the YouTuber game, you can play the crypto game. What game are you going to play? There's two things you have to keep in mind here. One, you need to know what game you actually want to play. Before you start playing the game, you got to figure out what game you want to play. I had a friend, and he wanted so badly to be an entrepreneur, and that's why he enjoyed being around me so much, is because I'm kind of the A-type personality where, well, I'm not, but I want to be the A-type personality where I got it all figured out, I got a business, I got money coming in. A lot of those things I have a little bit of, but I want more of it because I want to grow and change the world. He enjoyed hanging around me because he wanted the same thing, but he didn't know what game he wanted to play to get that meaning. For the last few years and for the next few years, I plan on playing the YouTuber crypto game. But the long game is entrepreneurship. The long game is business. The long game is charity. The long game is social change and making people love humility, love happiness, love kindness, love grace, love thankfulness. I want to change the world and get those things to be cool. I want to change the world and make those things awesome. I want to change the world and help people. That's the game that I've signed up to play. So there's two things you got to do. One, you need to do what I told my friend who didn't know what he wanted to do, but he just wanted to do something so badly. I told him you need to pump the brakes. You need to take a second, and because you don't know what you want to do, you just know you want to make a bunch of money and make a difference, you need to pump the brakes and spend a little while thinking about what you actually want to do with your life. This is something that takes decades to figure out. When I was a child, I thought I was going to go into construction because my dad did it. Then I wanted to go into astrophysics because I fell in love with Nova Science Now. Tell me down below if any of you guys remember that. Shout out to Hank Green. I loved SciShow back in the day. And then I thought, oh, well, I don't want to go to school for 12 years and spend a fifth of my life in school, so I'm going to go into engineering because I can get a 4-year and then do something fun also. And then I got into cryptocurrency. I'm like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. And I think I got it figured out now. Took a long time. It might take you a long time. I told my friend, hang on a minute. If you don't know what you're going to do, there's nothing wrong with taking a few months, a year to figure it out. But after you get it figured out what you want to do, that is when you get to start playing the game. And the game's really fun. But here's the thing, guys. The game is a double-edged sword because if you start playing the game and you are enjoying the game, you are going to really enjoy the game and you are going to love playing that game. The game for me is business and entrepreneurship. The game for you might be crypto or whatever it is. But if you ever stop playing the game and you love it that badly, it's going to be hard. So guys, here's my advice. If you don't know what you want to do with your life, because there's a lot of young adults, especially young men watching this channel, if you don't know what you want to do with your life, spend time figuring it out. Don't rush the process. I've told people for years that if you don't know what you want to do with your life, go to college. I think college is a scam, but college is a great place to figure out what you actually enjoy doing because there's so many new experiences. If you don't know what you want to do with your life, figure it out. You need to have new experiences with new people, and eventually you'll figure it out. Start going down different paths, and eventually you're going to find one that sticks and that you love if you haven't already. But after that, guys, remember that if you have that pilot light, it's never going to go out. It's okay if it's dwindling. It's okay if it's small for a little while, but you got to pick yourself back up because that dedication to that pilot light and making it grow and build and flame like we talked about in yesterday's video, that is where you're going to get your fulfillment, your satisfaction, your enjoyment, and your love of life from. Family will do the same thing, by the way. I'm not discrediting the importance of relationships. They are extremely important. Anyway, guys, that is my take on the cryptocurrency markets, and that's just something I've been thinking about lately is where does all of this passion that you have go? Does it ever leave you? If it does, then that's not really what you were meant to do in the first place. Keep thinking, guys. Right now is a hard time to do a lot of work. It's a hard time to stay productive. It's a hard time to even stay happy sometimes, especially if you're not in the best situation, but it is a fantastic time. It's a fantastic time to do some thinking. So think about some things. Seriously. Prescribing you some thinking. Just think. Anyway, guys, before we go, I know I've already lost all of you. Tell me in the comment section down below what your favorite kind of bird is if you're still here. I would love to hear about how many of you guys are still here. Before we go, though, I do just first want to mention the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy because, as I said, I love playing the game, and the game that I love playing is helping you guys learn technical analysis. If you want to learn technical analysis, let me tell you, there's 2 ways to do it. I did the first way. I would encourage you to do the second way. The first way you can learn technical analysis is by watching my YouTube videos, by watching Carl's and Data Dashes and Alessio's and Sunny's and Crypto Zombie and all these other YouTubers, and learn technical analysis through watching us do it and doing it yourself and going on Google and researching things. That is the first way that you can learn technical analysis. That is the way that I did it. But let me tell you something. That took a couple of years. And that takes a long time. That's not a couple of years of me doing this on the side and me doing this for like 30 minutes a day and me like sitting down and saying, okay, I'm going to study crypto today. That's literally all day, every day. That's what I did for over 2 years, all day, every day, trying to learn this stuff. It is hard. It is complicated. It is confusing. And because you don't even know what questions you're supposed to be asking so that you can go and find the answers to them, teaching yourself anything is difficult, let alone something as difficult and complicated as cryptocurrency technical analysis. So let me be the first to tell you, I'm selling a course that is going to help you learn technical analysis, but you can do it on your own. I'm not denying that you can do it on your own. I believe in you. I don't think it's worth your time to try and learn technical analysis on your own and spend all of this time and effort and run a massive risk of losing motivation over the course of a year or two that it might take to learn all of this stuff, when you could join CT2A at the link in the description down below and learn all of this in 2 weeks. It'd be easy. Because guys, as I've said in previous videos, if you don't know what questions to ask, you don't know to go and ask them to find the answer to the question that you didn't even know existed. That is why curriculums are in place. That's why people go to school for medicine. That's why people go to school for automobile. That's why people go to school for medicine and law and all these other things. Is because if you don't know what questions to ask, you'll never ask them and you'll never get the answer you need. It really baffles me when people say, oh, courses are a scam. You can learn that all online. It really baffles me that you would say that when universities have been around for 400 years and we can all agree that to at least some extent, the idea of going to school and following a curriculum is a good idea. How many people would vote to abolish the school system because, oh, our kids can learn math on their own? It's just a silly argument, to be honest with you. If you want to learn technical analysis, guys, there's a great place to do it, and it is linked in the description down below. At the time of recording this video, there are 1,533 people enrolled in CT2A, and there's over 300 of them that have been active in the last week going through all of this product. There have not been 300 sales on CT2A in the last 17 days since May started, so you know what that means. That means old students are coming back and rewatching the Academy, which is something I hear from our students all the time. There's one guy in our Discord server named Jaco who helped me learn how to sing a little bit better, even though I suck at it, but he's definitely helped. He's a great singer. He told me that he joined CT2A over a year ago, and he still goes back and rewatches all of the videos for review. If you want to learn technical analysis, it's going to be a lot easier if you go through the Academy. The link is in the description down below. There's a 14-day money-back refund guarantee. Yes, we do accept Bitcoin payments. And by the way, because some people have been needing my email, but I'm unable to put my email in the comment section for the sake of preventing spam, my email is cryptojeb@gmail.com. If you ever have any questions at all, feel free to email me at that link. But guys, that is going to wrap it out for this video. If you did enjoy today's video, hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out. And guys, like I said, I'm really getting into a groove of saying this at the end of the videos, and it does mean a lot to me. So I do just want to thank you guys for watching. It really is incredible that 10,000 of you guys would watch these videos. I mean, it's ridiculous. Over the last 30 days, there's been 150,000 unique viewers on the channel. I don't even know how to internalize that number. That is huge. That's the population of the county I live in. I mean, that is enough unique viewers to fill 2 football stadiums. YouTube is just incredible. It's crazy the amount of reach that you can build, and hopefully I'm making an impact on you guys' life. I would love to hear if that's the case down below. But anyway, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it out for today's video. As always, I do just want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.